Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Miko Hate, back with another video. And you know I gotta do a sector review, baby. I don't think it's gonna be too much of a review. This is gonna be pretty brief. Possibly. But first I'm gonna talk about Thursday night. Eagles versus the Cowboys. I worked that game. So I guess I work at the football stadium. So I heard the game. I was inside the same building. We all work on like the bottom floor and shit. Big long ass round hallway and shit. They had a little TV out there to where you can see like the game from the TV. Because we can't, like, as workers, we can't actually just go out into the field and watch the game. Because you going to get your ass kicked out the building and fired if you do that. So, yeah, it was a whole, like, so you can kind of see, like, this, you can see into the football field at the right, if you at the right part. It's like a little opening. You can see directly into the football field and shit. Nice view, by the way. So the Eagles won, from my understanding. I don't really watch football, so the Eagles was definitely not. They weren't kicking the ass, but they were beating the Cowboys like 17-21 before I left the job. I got off at 10 at night. The score was like Eagles were winning like 21-17, some shit. So I watched a little bit of it on the TV, and I was right by like the opening entrance to like the field. I saw the cheerleaders come out briefly because it's a big ass field, so I couldn't even see everything. You can't really get caught watching from the entranceway anyway. Or whatever that little path is. I don't know. I'm dragging this on too much. Enough talking about the fucking football field entrance or whatever the fuck, bro. So anyhow, that was a wild night. Whenever the Eagles are playing, it's going to be a wild night. Okay, I learned that the hard way a couple years ago when I went to an Eagles celebration downtown. And saw a dead old man that probably got trampled to death lying inside of City Hall with caution tape and ambulance trucks and shit. Yeah, that was traumatizing. I got PTSD from that, so I'll never go to an Eagle celebration ever again. Fuck that. So anyhow, before I got off work, I'm seeing this big ass white dude, angry big ass nigga, white whatever, wigger, getting carried out by two security guards, not even in handcuffs, with his hands behind his back, yelling, screaming in the hallway and whatever, just getting his ass carried out, probably for trying to watch the game. Wild night. Then I left the job, saw police activity and shit. Some motherfuckers was getting arrested. Something happened down at the stadium. I kind of stepped out the job and came back in. I got tired of these 10-hour shifts. And finally got my hours cut and I got a break. So I stepped out, came back in, drunk. Yes, I grabbed me a 211. Yes, the fuck I did. Came back, did some work while I was drunk. I mean, and came back that last hour moving faster than everybody else. I came back and took a break and had more energy than everybody else. Smart move. Now let's talk about the sector. I've been seeing what's been going on. I seen it. I seen Mike's show. I was just listening to that with my earphones while I was out and about. I saw some things. I saw the whole cop shit. I saw when when Chris, butted himself in, they had a brief argument, and the cop got sensitive, which is a rookie move, but it's what I expected. He's gonna learn real quick that nobody gives a fuck about your occupation or your job. The shit that we be saying in these, during these roasts, don't really mean anything. The only thing that really matters in this sector is, do you got the heart to roast? Do you got some good jokes? At the end of the day, all things considered, that's the only thing that matters, man. Money don't matter. Jobs don't matter. Hoes don't matter. None of that shit actually matters. That's one thing I learned. Like, none of that shit actually matters. Nobody gives a fuck about none of that shit. They just use those things as an excuse to roast you. Okay. So, LA came up there and briefly addressed him, and when he started roasting LA, Mike Mills got like extra fucking quiet and trying to make the show about Nicki, which I definitely peeped that. Okay. One thing a rookie doesn't do is read the room. Him and Mike wasn't beefing, so that's why Mike wasn't trying to go in on him. But as the cop kept going in more and more, and his jokes started getting a little bit better as he dragged on, I noticed that Mike felt a little bit more confident about going to LA, sort of. I peeped this whole thing. So, but as a rookie who's like, if this is your first time doing this shit, and you think you about to be a roaster, there's certain things that you don't know. There's unspoken rules in this sector. One of them, it would be when everybody's quiet while you talking, or not paying attention to you, really, that's a sign that you're not roasting somebody that you're supposed to be roasting, really. Or you kind of killing the show. Another unspoken rule. Yes, folks, y'all can hate me for saying this, but don't go live while the top people like Mike Mills is live, or LA, or somebody that's live, or some shit. That's one thing you'll notice. Because the content creators are going to want to suck in as many numbers as possible. And somebody else being live is going to, like, take each other's numbers and shit, right? There's unspoken rules that rookies don't know about. Another unspoken rule, and this is what I deal with. If you are a nobody, no, not being called a nobody because your enemy or whatever is mad at you. If you're a nobody, you can keep roasting and posting about somebody. If you're not getting a response, that means you have no skin in the game. Now, if you're being cooked every day, even if you're not responding, and keep being told you're a nobody day after day after day after day after day, you're relevant. You're what we're talking about. That's another unspoken rule. If you really are a nobody, your roast and you taking digs at somebody's gonna be ignored. Because they feel like you're not worth addressing. You're not worth the roaster, giving their energy. I don't really care that much about that rule. It's just because at this point I realize that that's happening way too much to where, like, it'll be somebody talking about your ass every day, taking shots at you. Even Mike Mills taking shots at you, and you just not. For Mike Mills, is a different reason, because Mike Mills, everybody's scared of this motherfucker. Okay. because he is like the OG, probably the biggest OG. So there's gonna be a lot of people that's like reluctant to really go at Mike Mills. Like if you're lower than like a Ralph Bottles, you're not gonna go at Mike Mills because you know you're not on that level. You know you're not good enough to really go back and forth with him. Deep down, you know he will flame that ass. So yeah, I just want to call it the unspoken rules. Oh, I want to give a quick shout to LA, man. When LA fired back at Mike for teaming up with the cop, boy, LA started putting his foot into that last live stream. I just want to give him, he started sounding like your boy, bro. He was like, yo, man, that Jamila shit is tired. You know what I mean? We sick of that. That shit is redundant. He started to sound like your boy. If you seen one Jamila meltdown, you seen them all. Don't that sound familiar? He was saying stuff along them lines, right? Interesting. I just wanted to give him his flowers for that. Let's give a round of applause to LA. I'm glad we can come to that understanding. I really am. So yeah, that's my review, y'all. Peace out.